It's now been about 3 months since I planted this 5-gallon aquarium and filled it for the first time. Just for a quick recap, this 5-gallon tank was given to me for free, and I decided to make a low-tech, dirted experiment with no real plans. The sand, log, and even some of the water was gathered from a local lake a few minutes from my house, and the plants were free clippings, some of which I wasn't sure would even make it. If you haven't seen them already, I recommend checking out the other 2 videos I've made on the initial setup and first month update. There haven't been many changes since the last update, but there has been a lot of growth. All the clips used in this video were added in chronological order, so the growth can be seen throughout the video. Regular water testing and changes have been kept up with to make sure water parameters stay stable, though I don't show them in this video. First, I would like to mention that, unfortunately, though the shrimps were doing really well for the first 8 weeks or so, there are no more left in this experiment, as they were not making it through more than one successful molt. Even though the shrimps didn't work out in this water, the plants are doing really well with lots of new growth. Java moss is coming in nice and thick, and the Anubias is rooted really well, with a good amount of new leaf growth. The dwarf sagebrush that I added in has spread runners and is starting to grow outwards across the sandy bottom of the tank. And though still small, both the tiny cryptocorn plants have grown considerably. Even the sword plant that was just about dead has really come back to life, with healthy bright green leaves taking the place of what once was yellow and melty. The Rotala over on the other side has tripled in size since the trim and replant mentioned in the last video, really filling in this side of the tank. In my opinion though, the most exciting bit of this update is the growth of the baby honey gourami. While many of the freshly hatched fry did not make it, there are still a handful of small fish that are doing really well. They made short work of all the microfauna that was growing in here, and I have switched them over to other foods such as live baby brine shrimps and other crushed dried foods. There are 2 that have been growing noticeably quicker than the others, and a couple of fry that are still staying quite small. During this time, the parent honey gourami have been continuing to spawn in my community tank, though successful fry are highly unlikely with the other inhabitants. I did attempt to take a few more eggs and fry to add into the 5-gallon experiment. However, I quickly learned that that wasn't going to work with how large these other fry had grown. It did not take long for the largest gourami babies to make a snack out of the recently added eggs. I would like to take the time to say that I am by no means an expert in raising fry or breeding fish. I like to try to provide my fish with as healthy a home as I can, and feel lucky that they have decided to spawn for me, but this is still an experiment and a learning experience, not an actual attempt at breeding and raising honey gourami in large numbers or for sale or profit. To me, any amount of fish to come out of this will be a success. After recently acquiring some breeder boxes, I decided to grab another batch of eggs to see if I could have any more success with the fry yet again. Maybe at some point I will try to set up a proper breeder and grow out tank, but this is enough for now. In the last video, I also mentioned how some snails made their way into the tank and that I didn't mind, as long as they didn't get out of hand. Well, I knew that was inevitable, and it has since happened. There are small pond snails all over the place. Luckily, the tank right beside this is one where I breed assassin snails, so a pair was added in to help with the pest population. And that brings us to now, as I'm writing the script for this video, just about at the 3-month mark. The Grommy are doing well, and I love watching them interact with each other and seeing how much they've grown. Eventually, they will be moved into other larger tanks, but will stay here for at least a little while longer. The plants have really filled out the space in here, and it's fun looking back, even just to the clip at the beginning of this video, to see the amount of change in the past 2 months. It's unfortunate and a little sad that the shrimps didn't work out in the end, but that's alright. I will continue to let this tank cycle, establish, and age, and maybe in the future I might try shrimps again. I'm looking forward to seeing how different things will look in another couple months, and if you would like to see that too, and follow along with the progress of this little experiment and its future changes, why not subscribe? And be sure to hit that little bell to be notified when the next video comes out. That's going to be it for this update, so until the next one, thanks for watching.